Mike, happy birthday. Uh,
Hey, thank you, Barry.
Not
I don't feel
yours.
I don't feel any older.
I won't say whether you look any older or not, but you look fine. You're okay.
Hey, I'll have you know that a guy on the golf course thought I was in my 50s.
Could he see how to putt?
I now understand why he doesn't hit the ball real well.
Today is a national birthday for the nation of Israel, the most resilient people the world has ever known.
I tell you what, yeah, the one thing that the United Nations, the unwanted nobodies, did right is they answered a question found in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 8. Can a nation be born in a day? And yes, it was. Yes, it is still there. I'm Israel Kai. It will forever be. And Barry, I have to tell you that you were kind of the star on the Israel update a few moments ago as Hanok was kind of talking over something, and it's like, whoa, 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 back up, back up. He said that regarding, and we're not going to get into politics right now, but regarding the Trump visit to the Middle East, he said it is as if the Arab countries are his focus and Israel is his peripheral vision.
Oh,
And I quoted you on the program, gave you full credit of this, Barry, and said it is your statement that regarding the verses of that Israel is the apple of his eye, that his eye is always upon that land, that no matter where you are in the world outside of that, that you are in his peripheral vision. So basically, President Trump has got it backwards, but you and I desire to not have that. And just give a quick commercial. Thank you for those who listened last week. I want to give a special thanks to someone who posted a comment of our commercial for Connect Israel tour last week, and that's Joyce, who didn't just say, wow, that was great or whatever. She gave us an insight again into the life that she has right now and taking care of loved ones.
mhm.
And Joyce, I just so respect you for what you're doing right now. I understand it. I've been there, and may Hashem bless you through it. For others, though, that have the ability and would like to be in the center of his eye instead of peripheral vision, one last time, connectisrael.org. All right, Barry, take it away.
Yeah, when you're in Jerusalem and you raise your hands in worship, it's more directly in line with his face.
Yeah. We used to say it's a local call. Prayer is a local call, but nobody understands that anymore.
Yeah. Mike, there's a verse of scripture found in the book of Yochanan, or John for others, 15 and verse 11. These words I have spoken to you so that my joy might be in you and that your joy might be complete. The word of Yeshua, which he spoke on, which was the Torah, predominantly the Torah and the prophets, he gave us those words so that we might have joy. Somehow, in our Americanization of scripture, we have confused joy with entertainment. When we first came into studying and walking according to the Torah, we started finding all these insights, and it was a very novel thing. We were all excited about buying Shabbat candles and tallits, and some wanted to go buy a collection of kippahs and uh, uh, ordering shofars because, hey, this is the new way of doing everything, and everything was exciting.
Yeah.
What do you do when the Torah is no longer entertaining and the novelty has worn off? Or was it ever designed to be that in the first place? Have we just Americanized things to where the Torah, for us at least, is not what it was originally designed to be?
Well, I kind of asked this question. Yeah. Last night, Alex Stiles and I on Life on Purpose talked around this issue a little bit more. And I raised a question here. Is God our priority or is he a hobby?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So is he a, is he, we say, well, he is everything to me. Okay. And I'm not trying to condemn anybody. All right. People, I think sometimes will, and maybe it's my lack of ability to communicate. All right. I will be the first to admit I am not the eloquent orator. I don't even, I barely can say those words. All right. And put the two of them together. So sometimes it is my lack of ability to communicate using my version of the English language. But that being said, uh, I never want to condemn anybody. I'm not trying to condemn someone, but at the same time, I'm passionate about my walk. I'm passionate about what I believe in. And I don't back up on that for anybody, for anything. And so, you know, I hear people say, well, he is my all, he is everything. All to him I owe, and singing the songs and all this. But then if you take a casual look at their life, the actions of life are not backing up the words. Again, I'm not being judgmental, I'm not condemning, I'm just being observant. If you go out and you see something on a pond that has feathers and it's paddling around, you're not judging it by calling a duck. You're just being observant. That's a duck, all right? So if our actions of our lives are not lining up with the words that we are proclaiming, maybe there's an issue. And and maybe it would be good to admit the issue, that no, look up to the heavens and say, no, you're not my priority. I've been treating you more like a hobby. And would you help me to change that?
I'm reminded of the days where we would go to church on Sunday morning and the choir would sing as happy and someone would get up to sing the special
Yeah.
and tears would be rolling all over the floor. And then the preacher would get up and it would be one of those stand up, clap your hands, throw your hands in the air, holler hallelujah every few moments type thing. Lots of amens. And we would leave saying, man, that was a great service.
Yeah. We're at
And
dinner.
we didn't realize that we were participating. While it was good, I mean, hearing the word is good, worshiping Him is good, fellowship and edifying people is good. And in all honesty, we seek to do the same thing at House of David on a regular basis. You want worship, you want the word and its veracity and truth. You want fellowship and edification. You want acknowledgement of the presence of the Most High. This is a good thing. This is a part of what I think the scriptures is encouraging us in the Torah, that we have an assembly on Shabbat. That all being said, Mike, what we were experiencing previously, we didn't realize that we were participating in church culture. There was a
Yeah.
certain language that was spoken. There was a certain manner of dress that was expected. There was a certain presentation everybody was expected to have. And you got out of church, you went home, you changed your clothes, and you relaxed your attitude, and you enjoyed the afternoon. Uh, when we start walking according to the Torah, I don't know that we, especially as Americans, it may be other nations as well, but especially as Americans, we did not realize that we were going into a scriptural culture.
Hmm.
Torah is the description of Yah's societal structure and culture for his people. It is kingdom culture. The way you treat people, the way you honor your parents, the way you conduct your business affairs, the way you worship, the way you prioritize things, how you grow your crops and your agriculture, the lost and found. If you find something, is it yours? Finders keepers. No, not necessarily. The justice system, the court system, everything is laid out, including who you are and what your identity is, where you fall in the scheme of the overall structure of the nation. Everything is described. This will be the kingdom. We have at times, I think, misunderstood and thought it was just another way of doing what we used to do with different vocabulary and a different approach. Yah's not asking us to shift, he's asking us to change.
Yeah, that everything that we do would have an effect on everything. Let's take the picture of the tabernacle of the wilderness.
Mhm.
Okay, you know the infamous one that's in my office right over here that has a depiction of the kavod, the glory coming down into the tabernacle, and all the tents around it. Uh, that glory that came down, that kavod that came down into the tabernacle, provided light for the whole camp. There was not a well, the light only goes to this place. The light shines out to the Levites and then stops. No, the light was to affect and bring light into every tent
Mhm.
and every life in the encampment. The same thing is that his light should affect every part of our life. There should not be anything from our entertainment to our language to, yes, what we eat, the festival days, the holidays that we observe, that we don't observe. But what about the attitudes? All of those things. This, what I have taught, especially to youth, is this God consciousness, that I should be conscious of him in my life at every single moment. What I've seen through the years as I've traveled is, you mentioned the time of the shofars and the tallits. I don't know why I was thinking about this last night. I can't remember exactly the setting, but when I was traveling a lot, we used to have shofars with us for sale. We used to have tallits for sale,
Yeah.
and I wondered. This is strange. Last night I was wondering. I wonder how many of the probably hundreds of tallits that I have sold to people. I teach on it. They want to buy one. How many hundreds of those are locked away in a closet somewhere? They've been given to the Goodwill.
Use for
They're
tablecloth.
really not, not really even thought about. And this morning, I started thinking about this verse, and I'm lifting I'm lifting a part of a verse. It's the words of Yeshua as he's quoting the book of Isaiah 29 verse 13. It says, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." It's been disturbing to me, Barry, and maybe you've seen this too as you've traveled. That you go to a Shabbat service and there's the music, and then there's the prayer and the prayer time, and then there's the word and the teaching and all of those things. And when the Aaronic blessing is given, it doesn't take the majority of people 5 minutes to start talking about everything outside of God. It's like, well, what? Hey, did you see the the game yesterday, or did you see this? Or hey, by the way, they got a really good sale on eggs at the local grocery store. Or it just is that kind of like this it's the squirrel or the goldfish has an attention span of 8 seconds. Humans, last I saw, was about 3.1 or something. That if God is not a priority, if he's more of a hobby to us, then our attention span toward him is going to be pretty short lived.
The Torah life, people ask you, why would you ever want to go back to the law? You're trying to earn your salvation. Now, I don't understand, why can't you just live in the grace that has been given to us? I just don't believe you have to do all of that stuff. Those opinions are offered by those who have not taken the time to realistically go back and study what they are describing as bondage. When we went back and started reading again, and this time reading with an open heart, with a desire to understand, being led by the Ruach HaKodesh, what we learned was filled with, when did they put that in there? I never saw that before. I can't believe I never understood this. It was as if we were stepping into a garden that had been behind a closed wall, a hidden garden, and we didn't realize who planted all of this. Who's been manicuring these grounds? I didn't know this was here.
Yeah.
And now we are, I don't know, Mike. We've the proverbial phrase of, you got to stop and smell the roses. I mean, we just kind of walking through the garden and looking at what we've already seen many times before. I've seen the slides and the pictures of where someone would take something as uninvolved in life as a leaf and put it under a microscope, and you see all of the exhaustive detail of the cellular structure and order and design of a common leaf that you would normally just mow over or rake into a pile and set it on fire. And you realize that this master creator has set all of this incredible, exhaustive design in any and everything that is there, from the bees that are pollinating, to the insects that are crawling on the ground, to the fruit that is on the trees. Everything is an amazing revelation. Romans 1 says that we are without excuse because nature itself preaches that there is this creator, and we want to twist and pervert him into something that he is not, to please ourselves. I guess my heart is saying today, the Torah is beautiful. It's inexhaustive in its wisdom and its instruction and its help. The Torah should not restrict our lives. The Torah should teach us how to live. It's not about pressurizing us into a formal religious expression. It's about how to live life to its fullest. From the stories of the patriarchs to the exhaustive legal details of Vayikra, to almost what we would say is redundant repetitions in Deuteronomy. It's there. It's there for a reason. It's the revelation of Messiah.
Yeah.
We need to return to find the joy of it all.
Well, what you just your ending statement there is it is a revelation of Messiah. Verse I quote so many times, Psalm 40, verse 7 or 8, depending on translation. Behold, I am coming. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. This past Shabbat at Life Assembly, my version of Johnny is Chris Sharp. And Chris does many weeks what we call 5 minutes sharp. But if he goes more than that, I don't I don't say a word, because it's normally something directly from his heart. And this past Shabbat, I think he was reading in the book of John, and he started reading those books, the words about, the word becoming flesh. And I mean, he just kind of stopped and he said, "Do we understand that when you hold," and I'm kind of misquoting him some, I think, but I think the essence is there. When we hold the word, we're holding him. There is coming a day, is called the millennium, is called his return, that we I think it's in John. I used this verse the other day. It says, "He who has this hope in him purifies himself, even as he is pure." That we will see him like he is. We will know him. We will be able to reach out. We will be able to touch him. We will be able to sit and listen to him expound upon himself. That's kind of an interesting thought to begin with there. But for now, the closest thing that I have is to open him, not just his word, to open him. The Torah became flesh and dwelt among us. And so when I'm reading these words, it is a revelation of who he is. And so when we take those words off the page,
Mhm.
we begin to institute these things into our life. What are we doing? We are instituting him into our life, and therefore, hopefully, bringing light into other people's lives. So but we live in a society that has been that is sick of religion, that has been hurt by religion, and a society that when you even bring up something of what they term as religion, they don't want to hear it, because they've seen all the junk. This thing with the Pope last week or so, it nauseates me. I can't even listen. I can't even watch the news. It just nauseates me. It makes me angry, is what it does, because I am around people that have been hurt by that same religion, that that these heathen media broadcasters are trying to make themselves look pompous by doing it, and they make themselves look anything but. I'm going to leave that there. Uh, but we live in a society that has been immunized from God by religion, and then you and I
Wait,
walk
wait,
on
wait,
the
wait, wait,
scene.
wait, 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 wait. Religion is immunization against Yah.
Yeah, many people have taken the shot. It just enough, a vaccine is supposed to be. I'm not getting in the political weeds of that thing, but a vaccine is supposed to be just enough of something so that your body can build up antibodies to combat the real thing that comes along. That's my understanding. So religion is like an inoculation. It's like a vaccine, just enough so that when the real thing comes along, you have a system built up to reject it.
So I think we all recognize then the ease of which we have fallen into that same vaccine trap. Switching religions, we came out of whatever it was that we were in. At least most of us, I think, were in something. And there is this this training that we have been brought up in. You have to view what you do, what you believe a certain way. We just basically we shifted from one place of standing to another place of standing, changed our terminologies, changed some of our practices, but with the same anticipated end result. That is, that our peers accept us, that we operate in what is encouraging and familiar to ourselves, that we have a working knowledge of what we think we believe, and then hopefully our Creator smiles at us and says, "Well done."
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Yah is saying, this word, as you were describing, it's me. Hey,
Yeah.
it's me. And I'm not asking you to conform to the peer group. I'm asking you to search my face and let me teach you how to be as I am, to be, no, we're never going to be Elohim. We're never, I'm not talking about a garden lie here, but adopting the heart and the character, the personality of Yeshua, operating in his compassion, operating in his heart, his momentum, his motivation. And that's, one would say, well, that's just not humanly possible. We have to sin every day. Well, that's another subject for us to talk about sometime. But no, the Torah teaches us how to live the life that was originally designed for us, that we were created to live. It's not bondage. It's not religion. It's not pressurized. As Yeshua said, I gave you these words so you would have joy.
You may have
Joy is
life,
not an
life abundant.
emotion, Mike. It's a spirit. It's part of the spirit.
It's a state. It's a state we are in. Happiness is an emotion. Joy is something that comes from within. What you're describing to me, Barry, is back to my priority versus hobby thing. If he is a priority, then that affects everything of my life. If he and what that brings forth is it brings forth a consistent lifestyle. On the other hand, if he is more of a hobby, then it's more of, well, I'm going to follow his word when it is easy for me to do so. When when it's convenient. There you go. I was searching for a word. When it's convenient for me to do so. I years ago, I've told this story a long time ago. I had gone back to my mother's house. She was still married to my stepdad, and she wanted me to go to church. I said, okay, fine. And I don't remember if this was before Torah or not. And so I just went to church. I didn't go to Sunday school that day. And my stepdad, who was not in any way at that time a believer in any way, shape, or form, he asked my mother, "Well, isn't Michael going to Sunday school?" She said, "Well, he doesn't really know anybody there anymore." And he looked at her and said, "I didn't think that going was about knowing people. I thought it was about God." Well, let me tell you, uh,
That
it
was a
didn't take me
sermon
too
for the
long to
day.
figure that out. Okay, yeah, because what he saw was that my relationship with God was based upon my convenience. Okay, I got a call this past Friday night from God. There was a golf tournament, and a friend of mine called me and he said, "Hey, Mike, we really could use you. Can you play?" And then he went, "Oh, I guess you can. It's your Shabbat." Or he said, "Your Sabbath." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not." And I understood. And this is a good guy. I like this guy, but I understood that this was kind of a trap. That well, let me listen. Okay, what time does it start? I could be home by 1 o'clock in time to prepare for Life Assembly, and I by 2 o'clock, everybody shows up. We could do that. I could do that. But what would that be as far as my testimony? It would have absolutely destroyed my testimony to every person that I have ever talked to in that men's league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know this, I have to be consistent so that they see something that is not an inoculation shot, but is the real thing.
Now, I'm smiling because I remember just beginning to grasp the idea of Shabbat as opposed to first day worship.
Yeah.
And the one that I was talking to was talking about, it's um, he was describing Shabbat to me, and I said, "Hey, well, then I'm just gonna play golf." They laughed and said, "You don't play golf on Shabbat. No,
Yeah.
it's not about you and your pleasure." I almost went, I don't know if I want to do this or not. That was a
Shabbat's about
long time ago.
Shabbat's about him and his pleasure. I got a guy that I do play with, and he doesn't play on Shabbat. Now, this guy is not a. I mean, I don't know if he's ever even opened a Bible, but I'm waiting for the perfect time because he set me up the other day, and I didn't take the bait. I decided I'm going to wait because he doesn't understand. He doesn't even understand that Saturday is the seventh day. He thinks it's Sunday, which okay, whatever. But this is how far away from biblical principles. And this is a really good friend of mine. I really enjoy his company. But he said, "Well, I've decided that I'm not playing on Saturday so I can spend time with my wife." And I'm thinking, put that one in my memory banks because the next time he talks to me about not playing on Saturday, I'm going to say, "But you don't play because of your wife. I don't play because of my God."
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to be consistent.
yeah.
If he is our priority, we will live a consistent life. If he is our hobby, we will live a convenient life.
Folks, our hope today in this conversation is to inspire you to go back one more time, open the Torah, read it with a fresh set of eyes, allow Messiah Yeshua to stand up in the middle of the pages. May Yah return to you the joy of finding him, learning him. May he encourage you to open the door that leads you out of religious understanding of things altogether, coming out of that and finding him. It's life. Torah is life. Somebody used to have a teaching based on that concept. I don't know who
That
it
would be
was.
some crazy person, I'm sure.
I can't remember their name, but their initials was Mike Clayton.
Yeah.
Uh, the idea that this book is regimented and restrictive and confining, that's simply not the case. Let this word live and breathe in you and be fresh in you. And Mike, I need the same advice. I need to stop reading it looking for
Yeah,
the next teaching.
yeah, I know.
I need to listen to what he's saying to Barry because he needs to
Well,
hear it.
I have an assignment for everybody. Before people do this if you want, don't do it, okay? But I'm going to give you a thought. Before you open the scripture again, before you go to the Torah portion, before you go to the prophets and the writings or anything like that, I'm going to ask you to do this one thing. Turn to the book of John and read the first chapter. Then turn to the book of First John and read the first chapter.
Mm.
And then start your reading. See how those two chapters of the man who was the closest to Yeshua of all the disciples, see what he said about the word. And then you open the word with that same feeling and see if the word does not once again come alive before you.
Indeed. Good advice. Mike, I don't know about next week. I will be in Martinsville spending some time with my mom.
Okay.
Let's see, is that next week? That's the week following. I will be here next week. I need to get my calendar straight here. What day? What week is this? What day is this?
This is the 14th.
So we will be here next week. The following week may be a little
Well,
iffy. We'll see.
we're just going to say it's not iffy because I am going to be on a flight to Colorado, Bezrat Hashem, God willing, to see our daughter and 2 grandchildren. So
Oh,
just
good for
have fun
you.
with your mom.
Good
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
I'm actually playing golf with my grandson.
Now that's going to be special.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
You might even
So,
hit it further in that thin air of Colorado.
well, as long as I can hit it further than him, I'm okay.
Folks, thank you so much for sharing in your social media. Thank you for taking a few moments to listen to our conversation, and hopefully by your comments, you'll join in. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for your prayers and your encouragements. And Mike, I will see you again next week.
Bezrat Hashem.
All right. Shalom, bro.